It's game time and I'm up one.
How many bottles of cocktails? So we're about building relationships. Amatina, Glossy, the fastest growing brands for detailing products, chemicals, and coatings in the world.
All right, guys, we got the Restomod out here. This is the next weekly buff. It's a C6 body and platform suspension, but it's got, I believe, either a 67 or a 66 front hood and front nose, front fenders and quarters. And in the back, look at that, ladies and gentlemen, 63 split window rear. I mean, how cool is this? And so basically the reason we call it a Restomod is because it's got a modern suspension body, brakes, and it does have an LS3 in it that's supercharged. This car is putting out 650 horsepower. And we're going to be doing full nose PPF, polished ceramic coating, wheels off ceramic coating. We're going to have to remove this front bumper, the emblem. So it's just going to be a great project, so stay tuned. All right, guys, it's time to get started on the Corvette Restomod. Right now we're getting up on the lift so we can take a look. Josh is pulling it on. Handsome man from Hawaii. Left. So right now the guys are trying to figure out how to get some pucks underneath here so we can get this car up in the air. And she's going up. This car is very wide and barely got on the lift. Max, what do you think about this car?
It's pretty sweet. Not gonna lie, it's pretty sweet, man.
This will be your first Restomod?
Yeah.
So right now what we got to do is, Max is looking at taking the fender liners out. Probably going to have to remove the front wheels, right, Max?
Yep, we're gonna take off all the wheels.
Take these wheels off. We also have to ceramic coat the calipers in the back of the wheels. Right now they're getting a plan on how we're going to take this bumper off because we got to do paint protection film. And here's the thing, look at the bottom. Is that just completely chipped up? He wants me to PPF that down there. So the reason that we're taking this bumper off, guys, is the customer wants this piece here and the shroud underneath, the silver part down here, all PPF, and we got to be able to get to this badge from inside the grill. And the only way to do it is take the grill and stick your hand up so you get up in here and take this badge off. So when we PPF it, we don't have any edges around.
That would have been good if we could get it off, though, like from the beginning.
This was challenging. You got that nice and clean, how you laid that down.
Yeah, get as far as possible.
It's good though. Because there is no patterns. Typically, Kurt, we have patterns, but there's no patterns. This has to be custom cut. Just like what Max did here. It takes a lot of skills in order how to do that. So Max has laid a piece down here for the center section. This is a lower spoiler or chin. And then doing the finishing touches. And this afternoon we'll have to start putting this car back together. You excited about putting it back together, Max?
Oh yeah, always. So we can see the finished product.
So we finished the full nose PPF on the car, and the guys are assembling the front bumper assembly and grill. Got the brackets on. And now it's time to polish and ceramic coat.
Forgot I got PPF too, right?
All right, so right now Josh is putting on which layer? The first, second, which layer?
First layer.
First layer of Pro Graphene ceramic coating. This is our #1 coating in our line. 90% solids, a shitload of graphene components. What does that mean? Super hard, super resilient, super durable. It's a long-term, 8-year plus coating. All right, guys, so we got an LS3 Chevy with a Edelbrock supercharger with a custom cover. Pretty sweet. We just topped it off with Pro Bodyguard. We always like to do that after we do Pro Graphene. It just gives it extra depth and gloss. This thing looks ridiculous. We're going to take it down to our favorite place. It's a cul-de-sac around the corner from the shop, and do some outside glamour shots. Stay tuned. Delivering the 2013 C6/63 split window.
Right.
So we're going to go over it with a customer. What do you think so far, just walking out? The initial impressions, like bam in your face.
It looks great. Looks like a brand new paint job.
So what we did is we did 3 layers of our Pro Graphene, and then what we did is after the second layer we put it outside and we let the the coating bake. Then we came back in, let it cool down, did another coating, put it back out in the sun, and then we did a top coat with something.
Shrink it.
Well, it's not to just shrink it. We want to make sure the PPF shrinks too, because you're using your water and soap and alcohol, so you have liquid. So we want to make sure that there's no bubbles or all shrinkage is there. But the coating we do in layers. Like, think of it like a chocolate chip cookie. You bake it, you let it cool, and so right now you've got 3 layers of Pro Graphene on here, and then we topped it with another coating called Bodyguard, which gives it, if you ever finish looking out, this thing is crazy slippery.
Oh yeah. Now we only went to right here with the
so
wrap.
all we did was we took off the pieces. You'll see in the video this came off, bumper. Josh and Max, we got them on video, taking everything apart, putting it back together. Everything's documented. You see the emblem we took off, there's no cutout.
Yeah, right.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
Remember the seams we talked about?
Where we did here.
Yeah, because we had to do this middle section. But what we're able to do, which is nice, is wrap this whole entire fender. And this is something that Max did that was really cool. You have to get down here. Remember how we thought we were going to break it in here?
Yeah.
So we had to do a release cut here because you're bending the material and you're trying to get it over. But the release cut's like right here. Instead of having the release cut come all the way around, you stopped it.
See it.
Yeah, you feel it with your finger.
Can't even feel it.
Yeah. The reason that Max wanted to do it that way is, so we had to have a seam here because we're coming around the corner, but look where we put the seam right here. So there's a seam here, and there's a release cut here. But what he did is, look, yeah, he came down here and brought this one piece all the way down in here and then seamed it here.
Oh.
So this is all coming around.
I see the seam coming
Yeah.
across here. Yeah.
And then you see the lip right here, underneath. Clean, huh?
Yep.
Look at this. Look at
not
the
a
gloss on the
squeaker
back. The silver has that velvety kind of look to it. Shimmer. This is why I like the film from Suntech, is because the film is as clear as the paint. It's really nice. You just got to make sure the foundation behind it is as good as the film, or you're going to see imperfections. But this is going to get a lot of attention on social media. We started posting a little bit, sharing, giving teasers to people, and they want to know who this famous guy is. And we're
Just
like,
name right.
so telling the Weekly Buff fans, you were in the service, you were air traffic controller. What did you do after you got out of the service?
I got my rates through commercial as a pilot, and there were too many high-time pilots coming back, so they weren't hiring. So I thought, well, I want to stay in aviation, so then I became a controller.
You became an air traffic controller.
Yeah.
And then you retired how many years ago?
Gosh. I retired in about 85.
Oh, you've been off quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
So you were
Well,
pretty
nobody
young.
makes it to retirement in that job.
Yeah. How young were you when you finally retired?
I was just over 30.
Over 30 years old and you retired?
Yeah.
Wow. So you made some really good investment decisions, I take it.
Oh, yeah.
Tell people how you found the car, the donor, where you took it. I mean, people want to know about this build.
Okay, well, I had always told my son that I loved the look of the old car, but I didn't want to drive a car with 40-year-old technology. So my son was watching TV, and he saw something on this company that was building these cars, and so it's the best of both worlds. And when my son showed that to me, I told him, I said, okay, as soon as the snow melts, we're headed to Iowa, because that's where they build them. And so when I left, my wife says, you're going to buy a car, aren't you? And I said, I don't know, it all depends. When I came back, I said, we bought a car. And they took between a 205 and a 2013. Those are the only models that they would do it to. And then they just essentially, they keep everything in the middle. You have your airbags, you've got everything that a modern car has. And they just take it all apart and replace everything except the interior with a new body.
So it's a C6 for everybody to understand.
This
Corvette.
is the last C6. This was the anniversary edition.
So the last was 2013 anniversary, and you bought the car because you needed a donor
Right.
in order to build the car. How long was the process to actually build the car?
The process was 4.5 months.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, they have a 66,000 square foot shop back there,
Huh.
and they can literally build anything you want. Like the chrome on the side there, the Grand Sport.
Yeah.
They'd never done that before. That was my idea. I said I wanted something from the donor car on the new car.
Yeah.
And so that's how those got on there. And because the rest of the car was destroyed, bodywork.
So it's got an LS3, you put a supercharger. How much horsepower is it making?
This is putting out about 600 because I don't have it really pumped up.
Right.
It's more or less.
So low boost, safe,
Yeah.
right? 600 horsepower. It's plenty of power.
Oh yeah, it's got 500 horses.
Did they have to change the transmission or anything like that? Is it a factory transmission?
Yeah.
Wow.
All the drivetrain's the same.
And if we look at the back, we got a 63 split window, because everybody knows what is the iconic Corvette is a 63 split window, and this was done extremely well. That's a real back of a 63.
No, it's all handmade, and it still has the electric close and all that.
So they fabricated all this by hand.
It's just literally taking a 2013 and turn it into this.
So it's a one of one.
No, I mean, every car was different. This is car number 32.
Car number 32.
Yeah, and I was talking to the guy from Iowa the other day, and he told me that they built maybe 5 or 6 more after mine.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So guys, we love to share stories. Tell people how you found Glossett and why you came here to have us do this work on your vehicle.
I found them on Facebook. I was looking up doing that type of work, so who does it here in Vegas, and I came and talked to you, and you're a fast talker, so I did it.
A fast talker. But there's some people that can't walk the talk.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But you
I
had
was
to-
very apprehensive, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
You know I was worried.
Yeah. Well, this is your baby, so there's
It
an
is.
emotional attachment to it.
It is.
But to think he watched some of the content, we got LaFerraris and P1s, and these guys ship us cars because they trust, just like you trust the guys in Iowa to do the craftsmanship to build this car.
Right.
You knew you needed to find somebody who had the same type of standards to execute your expectations.
Yep.
And did we execute?
Yes, or I would have executed you.
Oh, wow. So there would have been a hit on me in Las Vegas. You're not part of the mafia, are you?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay. So guys, be sure to ring the bell, leave a comment if you have an idea for an upcoming weekly buff, and be sure to see him at Cars and Coffee here in Las Vegas. It's every Saturday off of Eastern and Serene in Green Valley. We'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys love this video. Stay tuned and be sure to like or subscribe or ring the bell if you like this video. We'll see you next week.